Yeah, boy. We back around the water cooler, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all feeling? We back tonight. Guess what? Spring practice is around the corner. And tonight, we talking storylines. We talking questions. You see, I got Tez in the house. Marcus is here. We don't know how long. Marcus may have to drop out in a minute. But Marcus is here with us, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's what's up, man. Let's go ahead. Let's get it to it. Water cooler talk podcast. Oh, man, we back. Eugene Asante. Introduce us, man.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
You are now tuned in to Water Cooler Talks, covering everything you love about college football, especially everything going down in the SEC conference. So, if you love college football, you need to lock in. And now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, man, we back.
Yes, sir.
Rocking with us around the water cooler as always. My name is Nick Frazier, and the other person you see him or hear him, tell him who you are, boss man.
Marcus Fitzpatrick. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yes, Marcus is with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus, how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. Under the circumstances, I'm at work, but either hit up, under circumstances. What's up, Tez? My boy Tez in the building.
What's the deal, man?
How you feeling tonight, Tez?
Feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good. How about you guys?
Man, we doing what we got. We doing what we got to do to make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? We doing good, man. Can't complain at all. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with us here around the water cooler. As always, before we get going, man, make sure you follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at CoolersPod23. We appreciate you. And of course, man, we are 4 people away. We've been stuck at 4 people away for like the past 4 days. We are 4 people away from hitting 600 subscribers here on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube. Share it with your friends, share it with your coworkers, share it with your family, share it with your cousin's uncle, share it with your cousin's baby, share it with your cousin's baby daddy, share it with your cousin's baby mama, whoever. Let them know about the water cooler talk. We talk college football all year. We talk it. We talk college football. We talk high school football. We talk high school recruiting. Tell you, man. Rock with us around the water cooler, man. We appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with us there. As always, man. Let's take a look at the comments before we get up in here. Before we get it. Auburn Dad said, man, War Damn Eagle, let's go. What's up, Auburn Dad?
What's up, Auburn Dad? What's up, Auburn Dad?
That's what I'm talking about, man. He said, I know everything is going to be about quarterbacks. That's a given. But I want to hear more about the offensive line and D-line and maybe the linebackers. Ooh, I like the linebackers part. It's an interesting one. Nick, Marcus, Tez. Yeah, we all around the water cooler tonight. Auburn Dad, what's up, man? JT said he's a mile away from Chad Baker Mazzaro's hometown in the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Shout out to him. My guy, King Richard. What's going on, King Richard? How you feeling?
JT, King Richard, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? Yes. Also, I saw the comment yesterday where it said that they canceled the softball tournament, but then you saying they won 19-2 today, tonight in the softball game. Congratulations.
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's a butt whooping right there.
There's nothing but winners around the water cooler. That's all it is. Winners around the water cooler. That's what I'm talking about. Mr. ODR, what's up, my guy? What's going on? He said, War Eagle, now we coming. 25, 26, we coming.
What's up, OD?
Like that. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what time it is? It is time for JT's quote of the day.
Yeah. It's time for JT's quote of the day. The quote of the day from JT. JT has the quote of the day for you and me. What is the quote? We want the quote. We need to know the quote. So what is the quote? So quote. It's time for JT's quote of the day. So JT, what is the quote today?
JT, what's the quote today, man? JT says, storylines are better than any lines you learn in math class. Jonathan Suarez. All right. Okay.
I like
All
that.
right. I like that, JT. Okay. That's an interesting one. I like that. They won't be able to tune in, but you are tuning in. You comment. But JT's here with us, man. If he's not, he's still here with us in spirit. We appreciate that, man. Shout out to JT.
Shout out,
That's
man.
what I'm
Shout
talking
out.
about. Is that CJ, Nick? CJ, what's CJ? Where? We talking about AU? Come on, let me know, Dad. Let me know, Auburn, Dad. Let me know, man. Top show. Yes, Mr. ODR. That's what I'm talking about. We received that. We received that. Yes, he's here sneakily. He's here sneakily.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, let's go ahead. Let's get to the topic that you came here to hear us talk about. He said, don't know for much longer. It's all right, man. We appreciate you coming around, though. Thank you so much, man.
Right.
Let's go ahead and get to the topic that you all came here to see us. Oh, you talking about CJ DeJour. Shout out to CJ DeJour. No, that's not CJ. That's not CJ DeJour. No, that's not CJ doing JT's interest. No, that's not. But you know what? It actually does kind of sound like a little bit like an AI version of her. It does. But no, that's not CJ. That's not CJ. No, that's not CJ.
Who is it, Nick?
I'll tell you all. Who it is. I'll let you know who it is.
I think I know who it is already.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead. Let's get to the topic for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Spring practice for our Auburn football team is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. But first, before we get into that, shout out to Coach Kurt Johnson, who came around the water cooler last night, man. Shout out to him. Got a chance to chop it up with Coach Johnson, head coach at Benjamin Russell High School last night. If you haven't, go check out that interview, man. That was a really good interview. Really good. I don't even want to call it an interview. That was a really good conversation. Just a really good conversation with Coach Kurt Johnson, man. Hopefully, we can get him back on in the future. And we'll see what we can do to possibly get out there to Benjamin Russell and possibly just try to cover some games this upcoming season, man, for Benjamin Russell, man. But shout out to Coach Kurt Johnson, man. We appreciate him so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler as always. But let's go ahead and let's get into it, man. Storylines, questions. Auburn football is getting ready to start spring practice next week, actually. And there are a lot of storylines, a lot of questions that we're going to be hearing about, probably starting tomorrow, Friday, and definitely starting next week, about what Auburn has going on. What is it going to be? What are we looking at this year? We've already heard some stuff coming out of Auburn when it came to some of the player-led workouts of Deuce Knight and Jackson Arnold throwing the football, about how this is becoming more of a player-led team. How they're taking more accountability as players. But tonight I want to ask you guys the question, and we'll venture off and we'll kind of go into some other topics as well, some that we didn't think about. But I want to ask both of y'all, man. In your opinion, going into this spring practice, what is the number one storyline or question that you have for this Auburn football team as we get ready to kick off spring practice? Start with Tez. Tez, what you thinking about, my guy?
So the obvious answer is quarterback, right?
Okay.
And I know, like, we can talk about. I know, I agree with that. I think it was Auburn Dad that put the comment up there. That said that.
Yep, it is.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. We need to talk about the defensive line and the O-line and linebackers. But I'm going to talk about quarterback because I want to talk about specifically the plan is what I'm looking for. Not so much the quarterback play, but I want to see how Jackson Arnold looks with this offense. Really short spring. We're not gonna have a lot of time with these guys in the spring.
Okay.
I'm of the belief that, the part of that is because Hugh Freeze believes is that Jackson Arnold can run this offense and can build rapport with the receivers. But that's what I want to see. I want to see the continuity there. I want to see somebody step up and look like a starting quarterback. Like I want to see that. That's my concern. How that looks, is not so much. I'm with Auburn Dad there. Like we're gonna talk about quarterback, but how that looks is not. I don't so much care about it, but like it needs to feel like Jackson Arnold's the starting quarterback for this football team.
Okay,
that's what I want to see.
Okay, all right. So Tez is going quarterback, and he's going basically saying that he needs to have the feeling that Jackson Arnold is going to be the guy going into the fall. It doesn't need to be a question about. So let me. I want to make sure I'm understanding this. You don't want it to feel like there's question marks about Jackson Arnold going into the summertime, going into the fall.
I don't want to hear Deuce Knight pushing him for the starting job. I don't want to hear a quarterback battle. I want to hear from the first week, this is our guy. We're grooming Deuce for the whatever's to come.
Okay.
That lets me know that you had a plan. That lets me know that plan is working. That lets me know that you have a vision for what you're going to put on the field this year.
Okay. Can't be mad at that. I asked you this question. I remember saying this quote probably last month. I said that I didn't feel that the quarterback, I didn't feel like it had to be like a 4K version of Jackson Arnold at quarterback. I thought it had to be more like 1080. And like it didn't have to be that clear of a picture, but you wanted to be 1080 where it's enough of a picture to know that Jackson Arnold is the guy that we're going to be leaning on going into the fall as the starting quarterback. Is that a fair, accurate statement for you?
That's a fair, accurate statement for me.
Okay. All right. I like that. Marcus, what you thinking, man?
Ted took my answer, but nah. After that, I got to pivot. Then since Ted's took that route, I would say another thing I would like to see outside of the quarterback is to also see is the defense going to be what we think the defense is supposed to be. And I want to see DBs cover fundamentally sound. I want to see is that line get in the trenches. I want to see that young linebacker. I want to see the depth at linebacker. I want to see spring is really about seeing the depth and about growth for these young cats. So I really want to see that.
Okay, so growth for the young guys on defense or growth for the young guys?
Yeah, in general. I'm just saying spring is for you to get game time reps, but not game, you know what I'm saying, really playing the game. It's live action before live action. So it's just I want to see them get some reps and see what we got.
Okay, all right.
I think we all know the big names, but I want to see the subs, the twos, the threes.
Facts.
Okay. I like that. I can go a myriad of ways.
Yeah, there's really no wrong answer to this
question.
There's
really no wrong answer. You know what I'm saying? I could go the plan to how will Coach Hugh Freeze and this offensive staff, how do they plan on distributing the ball to all of these playmakers?
Yeah.
I'll go there. Because you have a lot of playmakers. You have Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, Horatio Fields, Malcolm Simmons, hopefully Perry Thompson. Speaking of Perry Thompson, I want to see what the development of Perry Thompson looks like from year 1 to year 2. Now, I want to see where his position is in this depth chart of the offense. When it comes to the young guys, I'm interested to see just how much. I know the impact he can have, but I'm interested to see how much of an impact Jordan Crawford Antonio Coleman, Malik Altry will have on the defensive line. I'm interested to see. You're gonna like this one, Tez. What Chris Murray is gonna look like at defensive end. On the offensive side, on the offensive line, if y'all have been around the water cooler with us a lot, I don't mind talking about the trenches. I will talk about offensive line and defensive line every day if I can. I will find a way to talk about it. We can spin it any kind of way. I'm interested in seeing who's going to get who's going to have the edge at right tackle between Mason Murphy and Xavier Miller. But I honestly think, Jesus Christ, I honestly think that for me, one position that we've touched on, but we haven't really touched on a lot this season. I mean, this offseason since December has been the running back position. I am interested in seeing which guy is going to emerge as the number one guy. Because
great point, Nick.
Honestly, all three of them have a legitimate shot and a legitimate argument of being the bell cow guy. You look at Damari Austin, probably the oldest, most seasoned guy in the room. He's been with the team. I think he's been with the team the longest, if I'm not mistaken. When you look at Jeremiah Cobb, I feel as if Jeremiah Cobb is a dynamic running back. I've stated it before on the record that I feel that he could be an all SEC type of running back. And I also said that I feel like he could have won. He could be a Heisman Trophy guy, Heisman Trophy S type running back, if given the opportunity to be the every down type back. But you look at Darrell Robinson and you look at what he did last year at UConn. He can make the argument that he's probably the most productive guy in the room, and he's only been in college for a year. You know what I'm saying? 750 yards rushing last year. I believe he had eight or nine touchdowns as a freshman at UConn. So when it comes to experience, he actually can make the argument and say, look, I have the most experience at running back in Division I football. So I can come in here and I can play. I'm young. I have 3 years of eligibility left. I believe he has 3 years of eligibility left. And guess what? I'm bigger than both of the guys that are currently slated ahead of me. So I'm sitting here saying, who can legitimately come out of that backfield and be the featured back in this offense? That's one question that's one storyline that I'm interested in seeing.
That's a great storyline, man.
Great storyline. Yeah. And I'm gonna say this because Tez was right there when I asked this question. When we was at the Senior Bowl, I asked Coach Nick this question, and I said, Jeremiah Cobb, Damari Austin, or Darrell Robinson, and his response was, "Get back at me after the spring." Is what he said. It's exactly those are his words. So I'm saying, I'm telling you, man, that's an interesting that would be an interesting storyline, something interesting for me to see, because I still feel as if the running game needs to be prevalent in this offense. I still feel as if the running, even though Coach Hugh Freeze wants to throw the football, that the running game still needs to be probably the focal point of his offense, especially when you're breaking in Jackson Arnold, who did not have a great year last year, but you're bringing him in behind what I consider to be probably the top, or at least top 2 offensive lines in the SEC, potentially could be one of the top in the country. Still bringing him in, still have to get him acclimated to the offense. So especially with the first couple of games of the year, going to Baylor, then you have Ball State, then you have South Alabama, but then you have to go to Oklahoma and Texas A&M. I still feel as if the running game is going to be something that this offense can lean on in those games to potentially give Auburn a chance of getting 2 big road wins before coming back home and having a bye week and then playing Georgia after that. I kind of cut Marcus off while I was talking, but go ahead, Marcus.
I was just saying, in my mind, we were talking about running backs. I was just thinking, like, the way Robinson is built, I would think he would be a great red zone back. Like I think it shouldn't be no reason that we suffer in red zone efficiency this year with the tools that we have offensively. Because we have a go-getter receiver and we have a big running back. And we have a quarterback that can scramble out the backfield. So it's just Auburn should be set up to win this year, man. And like you said, I can't wait to see what that offense looks like. That's why I said Tez has the obvious answer. You really want to see what that quarterback and that offense gonna look like in the spring because we have a lot banking on it for real. Outside of we're just assuming that the defense is gonna come back good or just better or just as good as it was last year with a better offense. So we can't wait just like
Marcus, you kind of broke up there. We didn't hear you. We didn't hear that last little part.
I said we'll with spring and what the quarterback will really look like. So I can't.
Okay. Gotcha. You about to say something, Tess?
Yeah, well, I was about to hold on a second. Yeah, I was just about to kind of piggyback off of Marcus and what he was saying. And basically what y'all was saying, both of y'all was saying about the running back position. And actually, does the running back that gets chosen or like whoever picks at the start, does that tell you anything about the direction of the offense? Because I think it does.
Yes, I do. I agree with that, Tez. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I say this. I tell you this: if Jeremiah Cobb comes out as the starter, in this running back, I wholeheartedly believe we about to see a lot of passing this year. I wholeheartedly believe because when I look at the offense, when I look at Jeremiah Cobb's skill set, I feel like he can run the ball very well. I feel like he can run the ball between a lot of people say he can't run the ball between. I disagree with them. I think he can. A lot of people say his pass protection is suspect. Okay, maybe. A lot of people may say his vision is bad. I don't know if I can agree with that. All the way around. But what I do know is every time he has had the football in his hands, he has always been electric. It has always been a dynamic play, and every time he gets tackled going forward. It's true. I've never seen him get tackled and he got hit and he went backwards. Every time he gets hit going forward. He falls forward when he gets hit. And also, I honestly think that he's the best. He's probably the better catcher out of all three of those guys in the backfield, throwing the ball out of the backfield, especially when it comes to checkdowns in this offense for, Jackson Arnold in this offense of having a check down this time. So having a running back out the backfield that can catch the ball. If you're not planning on putting a Malcolm Simmons or Eric Singleton, if you're not planning on having them come out of the backfield, that's just an alert to the defense that something is coming because I don't think you're going to have them in pass protection. But, if you can have Jeremiah Cobb coming out of the backfield catching,
right,
that's an extra weapon. So if you go on 11 personnel on the football field, you're showing potentially 4 receivers with the X, the H and the F, but then you also have your wide receiver there that's a tight end, depending on if he's covered up or not. You have him if he's potential pass catcher. But then if you have a Jeremiah Cobb back there, guess what? That's a 5th receiver that you can go to. So if you see that, then yeah. If I see Damari Austin, I feel like they probably will try to incorporate running the ball a lot. If I see Damari Austin come in, Darrell Robinson, to me, I feel like if I see Darrell Robinson, it's probably gonna be more running as well. Just gonna be real.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I see Darrell Robinson, they may throw the ball around a little bit because I feel like because he's a veteran and he's a big back. I'm gonna assume that he's he may be the best one in pass pro.
Okay.
Somebody, Darrell Robinson.
I was thinking you're going with that test. I was like, I don't think he's gonna be good at route running. So I was like, he got to be pass blocking. Okay.
And if we know anything from watching Ezekiel Elliott, being able to pass pro keeps you on the field, keeps you on the job. Like,
it's actually a good comp right there. That's a really good comp.
So do you think he becomes a third down back for that reason, or?
It's possible. It's possible because you don't want to, you want to run it back. You obviously don't want to run it back in the game to bring him in to pass pro and people know like they keying on it, like, oh, he's in the game. So you definitely want to be able to either throw him the ball, give him the ball, or maybe get him some early touches on early downs. But yeah, I kind of agree with you, Nick. Well, actually, I do, except for the Darrell Robinson. I think Darrell Robinson isn't passing. I think that means that we're going to be passing the ball, and not only just passing the ball, deep down the field.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you there.
Damari's getting the ball though. Like, if he's the starter, they're turning around and handing the ball off to him. And,
exactly.
And I feel like Cobb is kind of a mix in between. Like,
I see a very balanced offense.
I think Cobb may get the most touches.
Okay, so when you say touches, do you mean touches as in hand and like actual handoffs and pass catching, or just
I think that. I was just gonna say, I think that touches out the backfield. I don't think alone, but passes and rushes, yes.
Yeah.
I'll ask you this question before we go to break. I ask you this question. Do you think any running back leaves after this spring if something happens? Do you think there's a chance that we lose a running back to the portal? Because the portal will open up. I think the spring game is April 12th. The portal actually opens up that Monday after spring game, which I believe is the 15th. The 14th or the 15th, one of them.
You'll be able to tell that with reps. So when we see the spring game, you see how those reps are divided between the backs. You're like, yeah, he probably won't be here that long.
Yeah, that's my concern. That is why I have Jackson Arnold right there. Not so much as his play, but just this has to look like it almost has to look a certain way. So I guess if you ask my biggest concern, it would be that who transfers, who hits the portal.
Okay.
Because if Jackson Arnold doesn't look good, it's going to be tough to hold on to Perry Thompson. It's going to be tough to look at a Bryce Kane and say, hey, you shouldn't go to another school when you brought in these guys in front of you and there's no clear plan to distribute the ball. These cats want the ball. Right? Yeah. So, like, it's going to be tough to trout out a mediocre quarterback again and hold on to all these guys. He has to look like he can get them the ball and can get them the ball successfully. Otherwise, the portal is not going to be kind to us.
I agree with you there.
That is the biggest concern. Defensively, I think those cats stick around. We may have some attrition just basically off of sheer numbers, like in the secondary, we may have guys leave because it's just not enough spots. But as far as like principal players, not so.
I think that depth chart over there pretty much set up how we see it in the season.
That offense though, if it don't look right, if it don't feel right in these 3 weeks,
the name that you out is the name that I'm really worried about, that I really need to see get a lot of reps this spring. Perry Thompson is a name that I'm really worried about in the transfer portal, that I really like with a stacked roster at depth at receiver, that I just want to see how many reps he get this spring.
That's the question. And then the thing about it too as well, Auburn was still actively recruiting wide receivers out of the portal, end of December, beginning of January. End of December, beginning of January. They were still actively recruiting guys that potentially could have come to Auburn to be wide receivers. Because I know for a fact, I believe it was I can't remember the dude's name, but the wide receiver, I want to say he was from Notre Dame. It was a wide receiver from Notre Dame that was in the portal that Auburn actually offered. I believe he ended up going somewhere else. But I mean, that tells me that's interesting to me. So I'm interested. I think period time. I think this is what we do when we come back. We gonna talk a little bit of recruiting because there was a big time commit that happened today that actually affected Auburn. I still think there's a chance, but there's a big time recruit that did recruit today. That's we'll get to that, and then we'll kind of rank the storylines when we get back. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a break right here. We're gonna hit the halftime, and when we come back, we're gonna talk some more Auburn football in spring. Let's hit the halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Yell out your seats. It's halftime.
Do you want to feel like a star? Then go to Hollywood Media, and you'll be shining. From sports interviews, athletic highlight tapes, athletic photography, Hollywood Media will make you the star of all stars. Feel like a star on the most important days of your life, from college graduation to saying I do to your forever person. Let Hollywood Media make your event star-studded. Subscribe and follow on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. And follow on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Hollywood. Yo, man, shout out to I Got DJ, man.
Hollywood.
The Water Cooler Talk podcast, as always, man. You want to feel like a star? You want your memories to last forever? You are an athlete, you want the athletic highlight tape done? Shout out to I Got DJ. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Hollywood EY. And of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Day one supporter of the Water Cooler Talk podcast, as always, man. We appreciate you so much. And continue, as always, to mess with people that mess with the Water Cooler Talk podcast, Water Cooler Talk Sports Network. We appreciate y'all so much. Let's get into it, man. All right, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk a little recruiting. So there was a big recruit that committed today. Unfortunately, he did not give his commitment to Auburn University yet. Still early. Still early. But 5-star wide receiver Tristan Keys out of Mississippi gave his commitment to Brian Kelly and LSU. So, and I know he was very high on Auburn's list, one of the priorities, along with Cedarian Morgan as well. Cedarian Morgan has not committed yet. There is nothing up there. There is no news about Cedarian Morgan committing. But Tristan Keys, 5-star wide receiver out of Mississippi, did give his commitment today to LSU and Brian Kelly. So that's interesting to know. I will say this: it is only March. Don't know exactly how firm that commitment is, but I will say that still got a long way to go until December. So we'll see what happens there with Tristan Keys moving forward there on the commitment front. So that'll be interesting as well too. Yeah, that's what we are. That's been the biggest news so far, and I think that's going to start kicking off a lot of guys committing during the summer. So we should start seeing some commitments come after spring. When we get into the summertime, we'll start seeing a lot of guys starting to commit. And just to be honest, sometimes I'm just be real. A lot of these guys are being paid to commit to schools as well. So that's part of it as well. So you'll see a lot of guys commit that's crystal ball or RPM to certain schools, but if they get a commitment to a certain school, they'll get money. So
I mean, I get it though. Like it's LSU, right?
Yeah.
This kid's a receiver. LSU has a history for pumping out receivers, putting them in the NFL. We don't like Brian Kelly, but like the school is the school, right? It's only so many top flight receivers that we're going to get at Auburn before they can see it on the field.
Very true.
Why this year is important. Some of those freshmen have to ball out. Big year from Cam Coleman will go a long way to flipping a kid like Keys.
Yeah, and in either a big year from Coleman. I say this because if Cam Coleman has a big year, that's a guy that Auburn recruited, got to sign out of high
That's
school,
exactly.
and then from that happening, if that happens, Christian Key sees that, Sedarian Morgan sees that, so they see that there is a plan that this offensive staff has in place, and it also gives credibility to Marcus Davis as well.
Yeah.
Because if Marcus Davis, who's the wide receiver coach, if he can go out and he can help develop Cam Coleman into what I consider talent-wise a first, second round talent, but the
Yeah.
production has to follow that talent. If he can produce, if we're able to get the production on the field to match the talent that a Cam Coleman has, and then the thing about it is, if you can get Perry Thompson to do the same thing, if you can develop
That
Perry
is
Thompson to the
that
same
is
thing,
the key, bro. I think that's the key. Like if he can show that he can develop Perry Thompson, if you can turn well, I'm saying turn Perry Thompson into an SEC receiver as if he doesn't have all the measurables of an SEC receiver. Like this guy is talented, but truth be told, he got there late. He didn't get a spring. So, he got there in the fall. He was behind everybody. It'll be a direct reflection on your development skills
exactly,
of what Perry Thompson puts on the field this year.
exactly.
And recruits will be able to see that.
Exactly. Which in my opinion probably is we could literally sit here and say Perry Thompson could be the number one storyline in this spring going into the summer. Like the development of him.
If he balls out, he will be.
That is what I'm saying. Because if that happens, then you got Tristan Keys, Sedarian Morgan, Jace, your other guy from Hattiesburg. I can't think of his name right now. Jesus Christ. It's on the tip of my tongue. But him, you have those guys coming in that potentially could come in and add to this receiving core. And then the only thing you have to do is just continue to get a quarterback, in my opinion, every other cycle. But let's take a look at the comments.
I want you to bring up a certain comment real quick.
All right. Auburn Dad said, man, see, I knew it was given a lot, but I agree, Ted. So Auburn Dad and Ted's agree on the quarterback situation. There's our me Ted's. Anything other than JA is killing, it would be a disaster. I agree. Shout out to our guy Ken Richard. He gave us his list. We're gonna do ours in a minute. He says Coach Hugh Freeze's health, number 1, QB development, number 2, the O-line coming together, number 3. And number 4 is the defense going to be able to take that next step with their youth. I actually like that. I actually like that list. Coach Freeze's health. That's an interesting one because that affects recruiting because there is this narrative out there that other schools negatively recruit Auburn. And I don't know if that's being used as a recruiting tool for other schools, but that is an interesting one as well when it comes to it. So it'll be interesting to see there. Auburn Dad said, man, 1 versus 1 be nice to hear happening by the end of practice. Good on good. We need good on good. That's what we need. Good on good. That's what I'm talking about. These are not my storylines. This is what I think will come out in the press. Okay. All right. Okay. Got you. Okay. Sweet Stuffer 256. What's going on, my guy? He said it's been a minute since we had a true offensive weapon. I wonder what the plan is for Bryce Kane. He is special with the ball in his hands.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But when you got an Eric Singleton and a Malcolm Simmons in front of him, gonna be kind of hard to get on the field. Man, I'm gonna come back to that one. I'm gonna ask.
I got a question about that too. Like just because I know how you feel about quarterbacks and getting the newest quarterback.
Yeah, I do not. I don't think you have to go out and get an elite quarterback every recruiting cycle. I don't.
But here we are at the receiver position.
Shout out to I got C Hall. What's up, C Hall? What's going on, my guy?
At the receiver position, we're in a similar situation, kind of, because we got Bryce Kane, who we kind of.
Yeah, you're right.
He's maybe in or out of the door. Where does he fit?
Okay. So, but to combat your question, let's look at. We talked about this earlier. Let's talk about LSU, right? So, LSU has had a bunch of really good receivers that have come out of LSU.
True.
And let's just say the past 10 years, they've had a bunch of really decent receivers that have played long in the NFL. I think them and Alabama probably are like the top 2 in the SEC.
Right.
Besides Joe Burrow and Jay Daniels, name the other quarterbacks.
What do you mean?
Like, name the other quarterbacks that have thrown to them. Like, have they had elite quarterback play, even though they had those athletes on the outside to catch the football? Like, those were playmaking type wide
Okay,
receivers.
I get what you're
So,
saying.
do you need an elite quarterback every year if you have the playmakers out there? Which is what I think Coach Hugh Freeze is trying to get at. Like, I don't need the elite of elite guy. I just need people around him that are playmakers, which I kind of feel like that's the way he's trying to go.
Yeah, I can see that. But
Shout out to our guy Sharp. What up, Sharp?
it's rare. It's rare to see elite quarterback play without elite receiver play.
That's
Like,
the
it's
comment I was
very,
talking about, bro.
very rare. Usually when you see elite quarterback play, there's going to be a dynamic receiver on the field somewhere.
Okay.
So yeah, I just want to see that, man. At the end of the day, I want to see that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I understand I understand why people feel like you need to get an elite quarterback in every class, but I don't think so. The reason why I don't think so is because the transfer portal is the equalizer in all things.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a guy in the portal or a couple of guys in the portal that's looking to find somewhere new to go. And for the right price, they can end up at your school. I'm just being real. So, I mean, the elite.
That's the reason, though. That's the reason why it's like you have to, like, when he says stuff like, okay, I'm going to give you 2 years. By 2 years, by year 2, if you're not the guy, then you'll probably never be the guy.
Yeah.
That sounds bad, but like, it's the reality of it. It's because he knows that he can go to the portal and get a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And if by year 2 you're not the guy, I know that I can find somebody capable in the portal now.
True.
All right. So why
Very
not
true.
recruit a quarterback every cycle? And
I mean,
give a quarterback 2 years, every last one of them, until you find that guy. Give him 2 years.
but here's the thing, though. Will a
That's
quarterback?
the nature of the game. Period. Now that's what,
Yeah.
that's
Because
the nature of the game. Period.
you think about it like this: you got Deuce Knight, right? Let's say he doesn't pan out, right?
Okay.
If you land Curtis, you have a
That's not happening. He's
I'm
going to
just
Georgia.
hypothetical.
He's going to Georgia.
Well, who else are we in?
Now we didn't hunt him on. We dropped out. His
No,
school.
not for him. I mean, other quarterbacks. It's like him.
Travis Burgess Burgess is probably the
Burgess.
best one. He's a 3-star. I think Travis Burgess probably end up being a 4-star before it's all said and done. But he's out of Grayson in Georgia.
Well, let's just say another elite quarterback. We land another elite quarterback in the next cycle, right?
Well, you have in the next cycle. If you say in the next cycle in 26, 27, I would probably say Trent Seaborn.
So this is what I'm saying. So, like, okay, you give Deuce Knight by year 2, if he's not the guy, you'll be behind the 8 ball if you haven't already recruited a high school kid that can come in and be the guy. And you're going to have to go to the portal anyway. So either way it goes, like, you're almost going to the portal for a quarterback every year, or you're recruiting a high school quarterback every year. It just depends on which one you want to do. And in some years you're doing both, just depending on the attrition in your room.
So okay, so we was gonna rank the what's the name, but this is a good discussion. Earlier today on Iron Bowl debates, with Auburn Addicts, with DC from Auburn Addicts and Tight Sports at Alabama Football Magicast, they had this conversation. They had a conversation basically saying, and Tight made it, and if Tight, if you watching Tight, make sure I'm saying this correctly. Tight basically said that if your team is in the top 10 in high school recruiting and top 10 in portal acquisitions every year, that's bad. To a degree. Basically, he's saying that coach won't last long. So basically, he's saying if you have a top 10 recruiting class in high school, but then you also have a top 10 recruiting class in the portal, in portal additions, that's not a sign of a healthy program. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, that kind of makes sense to me if you think about it. Because if you're continually adding guys to your team through the transfer portal every year and you're top 10 in the portal, that means you're losing a lot of guys on your team. Now, how many got it depends on how you lost those guys. Did you lose those guys to graduation? Did you lose those guys just running out of eligibility? Or did those guys really just decide, like, okay, I have 2 years left, I'm gonna find me somewhere where I can go?
So wait a minute, you mean are you saying top 10 in high school recruiting? I got that. But when you say portal, you mean like kids leaving or top 10 kids coming in?
No, kids, you have top 10 in portal additions, which means normally what he's saying is if you're having to go get so many guys in the portal, that means you've had some attrition on your roster. So basically you have to backfill that with veteran leadership, veteran talent on the roster to combat what you have in youth on the roster from the high school ranks. I want to say I'm saying that correctly based on what I heard him say. This is what I was saying, because
I can see that. I think the only pushback that I would have was like, how are we counting the portal? Are we counting just like top 10 rated, or are we talking about like you just got the most kids out of the portal?
No. So like, so there's a ranking for portal, and then there's a ranking for high school. Now they kind of mix. Some services put them both together.
So my question would be, what was Ohio State this year?
Ohio State in the portal?
They had to be higher in both, right?
Yeah, you talking about to come in and win?
No,
oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they were high. But what he was saying, the word I left out, I'm sorry. The word I left out was, if you're perennially doing that, that means that you're not developing players at a clip that is,
I don't know. I just think like a school like that, like the Ohio State example, I'm almost willing to bet they're going to be top 10 in high school recruiting and top 10 in the portal again, because they just won a national championship,
the same thing.
and they're a destination. So like if you're a senior,
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the difference. So if you're going out, if you got a guy coming in that's coming from a school that has 1 year of eligibility left, and he's like, this is my year to prove to the NFL I'm a great player, I'm going to go to a school like that where I have the opportunity to play for a national championship because I have more time to get stuff on film. But I think where Tight was coming from was saying, if you have guys that have multiple years of eligibility left, so you have a sophomore that's on your roster and they're like, yeah, I'm leaving, I'm getting out because it's just not panning out here. It's just not panning out.
I see what you're saying.
I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying?
He's saying that you're not retaining those high school kids.
Yes, that's what he's saying. So you always
just over time.
Okay. Yeah, you always going to be top 10 in the high school recruiting, and you're going to have to try to backfill what you lost with veteran guys to kind of combat the youth as well. Kind of what Auburn has been doing the past.
But that's not. I guess the reason why I can't find no real examples of it because it's not sustainable. Like that's not going to happen.
True.
Because
and the reason why they had the conversation was they were talking about Coach Prime at Colorado, and I think they brought up Lane Kiffin as well. So
yeah, it eventually going to have to pick one or the other, right?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It's happening, like you said, it's happening with our roster. If it's the Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton show. Well, I'll just say it. If Eric Singleton's our leading receiver, those high school kids, it's going to be we're going to be looking to that portal for that receiver position. That we're going to be, that's what we kind of putting out there. We don't have the dual examples where you got like Ohio State has a Caleb Downs and a Jeremiah Smith.
True. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like they appeal to both of them. Like a transfer is looking at Caleb Downs like, oh, I can go there and win the championship. Whereas a high school kid is looking at Jeremiah and like, oh, they will put me on the field. I can ball out. So
Agreed.
like, that's why I'm like a school like that probably will perennially be in top 10 of both of them.
Yeah, but because to your point there, that's true because it's gonna be attractive for them because like I say, they're gonna probably be looking at those 1 year type guys. Like for example, Mason Murphy. Like Mason Murphy is has 1 year left. Like he's looking at the fact like, okay, where can I go and get the most exposure on the offensive line? He came to Auburn. Shout out to him for coming to Auburn. But a guy like that, a guy that has 1 year left, they're like, where can I go to get the most exposure to where I can put film out there because my next step is the NFL. So you looking at that. So yeah, a team like that, I agree. But let's just say, what if it's I don't know. Let's use a random Louisville. What if that's happening to Louisville on a perennial basis? It's not development. They're not developing a team. You know, it's just interesting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Huggy Beard is in the chat. What's going on, Huggy Beard? Legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams is in here. What's up? They were just asking about you, Huggy, and you popped up. What's up, man? What's going on? What's going on?
I got dip out. Yeah, I take care.
All right, then, Marcus, man. Everybody say bye to Marcus. We'll holler at Marcus, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend, the mayor, Marcus Fitzpatrick. What's up, man? We got our guy, man. What up, man? He said we have the most speed in the SEC at wide receiver with Coleman, Kane, Singleton, Simmons. Really just need someone to make decent decisions. Did a show with Dukes to Scoops a couple of weeks ago, probably about a month ago. And he said that all Jackson Arnold had to be was just a point guard in his offense. That's all he had to be was a point guard. Mm-hmm. So to your point there, man, I agree. If Jackson Arnold could just be efficient with the football, do not compound mistakes. Do not compound mistakes on mistakes. If he can do that, Auburn should be a 10-win team. Just gonna should be a 10-win team. The Huggy Beard himself said, man, Auburn dad for life. What you mean? Because I say that to folks when I seemingly pop up out of nowhere and I surprise them by accident. That's my guy, man. The legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams, man. That's my guy. The Huggy Beard himself, man. Just hadn't seen you. You hoping you was okay, man. Yeah, I hope it good. Speaking of which, Auburn dad, let me know how is Hardbone doing, man? I haven't seen Hugh in a minute, man. I know you kind of talk to him sometime. How is Hugh doing? Let me know. Let us if you've spoken with him, let us know how Hardbone doing, man. Let us know.
I'd seen him in a minute.
I haven't seen Hugh in a minute, so I hope everything's going okay, man. Just let us know how he doing there. I know you kind of speak with him sometime. That's what's up, man. Auburn dad said, man, you mean the Iron Bowl grumpy old man debates? That's what he called. That's what he called DC a type, man. They be it's fun. It's fun over there, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Make sure y'all check out Iron Bowl debates Wednesdays at 6 Eastern, 5 Central on Auburn Addicts and on Tight Sports and Alabama Football Megacast YouTube channels over there, man. Shout out to those guys. Let's see. Huggy said, man, nah, I'm going through it, man. Huggy, man, you know, if you ever need something, man, let us know, bruh. Let us know. Bruh. Let us know, man. You good. You good over here, man. You good money over here, man. It is what it is. Maine comes back through and says, man, if you have top 10 portal additions, the talent you getting out of high school isn't panning out. Yeah. Is it not? Is okay, but here's the question. Here's the question I'll ask to that. Is it not panning out because they're not being developed, or they're not panning out just because it was just a misevaluation of the guy?
So what if it's a good team though? Like, what if it's a situation where you have a team? Let's live in a hypothetical world real quick.
Okay.
Let's go back and just all of those games where we came up short in some magical realm and all those little mistakes. Let's erase those and pretend like we get to 9 wins this season instead of 5.
Okay.
I think our high school recruiting goes through the roof. Right?
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
I also think that we become one of those destination schools where they look at our program and say, They won 9 games last year. And if I'm a highly ranked transfer portal recruit like a Mason Murphy or what's the
Xavier
other
Chapman.
kid name? Xavier Chapman.
Mhm.
Why not come to Auburn?
Yeah.
If I'm a Eric Singleton and you have an opportunity to be the number one, on this team, and it's a 9-win team, a 10-win team,
Mm-hmm.
even if Perry Thompson balls out, why not go be a part of that and win a championship? So, like, I don't think you could just, I guess perennially, like over 10 years is probably hard to sustain that.
Mm-hmm.
But the transfer portal hadn't even been around 10 years.
It hasn't been around 10 years.
So, like, I think there are certain situations, like in the case I just kind of hypothetically brought up, like where it would just, I think we get those kids in the transfer portal even if we win 9 games. And I don't think it speaks anything to the development of our high school kids from last year.
Okay, so you think we get those just because Auburn won is what you're saying?
Listen,
because of the brand of Auburn.
Yeah, same stats. Give everybody the same stats. Just flip that coin in the Missouri game, the Oklahoma game. Turn those little losses into wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put us at 9 wins. We got the same stats: 2,700 yards from Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. I never do that. Oh my God!
I wish.
Stop. But from Peyton Thorne, still give what Cam had. 800 yards last year, 700 yards.
Cam has 598, just under 6.
598. Give him the same. Give KLS 900. Just fix those little mistakes. Make us a 9-win team. I think we still have the number 1 portal class.
Okay. I can rock with that. I mean,
we're still missing. We'd still be missing the same things. Still need help at tackle because nothing would change.
Okay, well, I ask you this question. There were a lot of guys. You had your Josh Thompsons. You had your Wendell Moore Juniors. Josh Thompson, I think, ended up going to LSU. I think Wendell Moore Jr. ended up going to Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. You're looking at those type of offensive linemen. If Auburn had a better record last year,
we have a better portal class.
Okay, all right. So I'm just saying, do you think we get those type of guys that come in? Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying the problem isn't Auburn. It's just the fact of the production and what we put on the field. So basically, you telling me that if Auburn wins 10 games this year and Auburn goes to the playoffs, expect another number 1 portal class next year.
You can if it's especially if it looks like it's fun to play in.
Okay. I can't be mad at that. I actually kind of understand. I ain't gonna say kind of. I understand where you're coming from with that. Man said, man, if we put up 28 points per game, 10 wins shouldn't be a problem. No. I agree. In the words of Ed Darby, if we don't score 21, we lose. That's what Ed Darby said, man. Lane Kiffin just gets transfer portal players just to get players, so no one else can get them. Look at the quarterback 2 years ago. Okay. Yeah. All right.
It's hard to recruit at Ole Miss, man.
Is it though? The Grove Collective seems to be very, very affluent. That's all I'm saying.
Last dude that got high school kids out of there had to cheat to do it.
Yeah, that's true. And guess where he's at right now?
Yeah. He's on the plane.
Okay, already said, man, Harbaugh wife been bad in the hospital. She wasn't able to keep her food down last time I talked to him. Okay, man. Yeah, I knew he was having. I knew his wife was having problems, man. So we praying for Harbaugh. Shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all say a prayer for Harbaugh and his family as well. When you say your prayers, tonight, tomorrow, whenever, say it to him, man. I got Terrence Bradley. He's in Middle Georgia. War Eagle in the house. What's up, Terrence? Hope you good, my guy. Hope everything good. Look at me and said, man, the way you said 5 games, bro, he almost choked on his barbecue. Shout out to righteously, bro. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the show. We were supposed to rank the storylines, but we got into an even better discussion there. So, and that's the way the show goes. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler. Auburn basketball has to play Alabama State tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep, tomorrow.
150. What is it? 150 Central.
Yeah.
They play Alabama State.
Yeah.
250 Eastern.
Shout out to Alabama State too.
That's what I said. Shout out to Alabama State.
This is a major deal. Like it's Auburn, Alabama State. Auburn being the number one overall seed and getting those eyes on Alabama State like that because everybody's gonna be watching this game. So
yeah.
Even though I think that they're gonna get destroyed, everybody knows they're gonna get destroyed.
We know they are.
But hopefully somebody from Alabama State out there get a look. And I don't even like Alabama State like that, like to be saying that. But like, yeah, I hope one of them kids ball out at least, and can get called up to a bigger school or something. Just
shout out to Alabama State, man, getting their first win in the tournament. And the head coach from Alabama State, guess where he was an assistant coach at before he got to Alabama State? Auburn University. That's what he was. He was with Coach Bruce Pearl before he took the job at Alabama. I don't know if it was right before he took the job at Alabama State, but he was with Coach Bruce Pearl at one point in time at Auburn. So shout out to him, man. The Pearl tree is growing. The Pearl tree is growing. I'm telling y'all, man. It is what it is. Huggy Beard said, man, wow, that's why y'all been asking about Bone if he's good. Yeah, man. Everybody continue to pray for him. Continue to pray for Paul Bone, Hugh Riley, and his family, man. Charles was a man that said, man, F Alabama State. Can't say that. My mama graduated from there, man. Can't do it. Can't say it. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central around the water cooler. We'll be talking some more SEC, some more Auburn football as well. So we appreciate y'all, man. Tez, tell them where they can find you at, my guy.
All right, man. You can find me. Let's see. Boom. At codename Tez on X or Twitter, however you take it. I don't know. Or you can find me at my website, photoimagery.com, at photoimagery on all platforms. Big news coming. I got big news coming for you guys. Excited about it. I'll be dropping that news on Sharpshooters. So stay tuned. If you subscribe to Sharpshooters, be on the lookout. Make sure you got your notification bells. Next time we go live, I'll be announcing some big news. And if you're not subscribed to Sharpshooters, go subscribe to Sharpshooters so that you won't miss out.
Yes,
very excited.
Yeah, they are on the road to 800 subscribers over at the Sharpshooters podcast. So make sure if you have not, go ahead over and go subscribe over there to Sharpshooters. He said tomorrow night.
Yeah,
they going live tomorrow night. It's going down, man. Hey, Ken Richard, let us know, man. We are still 4 people away from 600 subscribers over here at the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. We are 4 people away from 600 subscribers here at the Water Cooler Talk podcast. So please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. So you know when we post more videos and go live. Ken Richard came. He said, quick question. Why is it we went out and got all the wide receivers and running backs with those rooms looking so good, but not a lot on defense? Does DJ have more confidence in his high school recruits? I believe he does.
Yeah.
I believe he does. I mean,
I think they're just so young, man. Like these guys, you don't want attrition on that defense. And they so many freshmen that it's just like you got to give them opportunity and every opportunity to play. So
and the fact that they did it last year with a lot of freshmen on the side, I feel as if they were able to be productive last year with a lot of freshmen on the defense, a lot of younger guys. I mean, it's just it's just honest,
man. No, I was about to say, to be honest, like it's really just a linebacker room. That's we have bodies on the defensive line. We have our secondary. We have bodies in depth in the secondary. So it's just the question is really the linebacker room and who steps up there.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true. If you have a lot of talent coming in, everybody knows how I feel about Elijah Melendez. And of course you got DeMarcus Riddick coming back. Want to see what Robert Woodyard does this year. DJ Barber, he'll be stepping in as well. So I'm telling you, I mean, I feel as if this defense feels very confident about what they want to do on defense with that young talent that they got over there. And guess what? it just helps them, 2 years. Like, just imagine the reps that they get this year, next year, how good that defense is going to look with the amount of reps they have from this year as young guys playing. So it's going to be interesting to see. So you looking at it moving down the road now, every year, Auburn's going to be able to have a really good defense, the defense that we're used to seeing from, the 2000s, and things and stuff like that. Auburn should be able to get back to that very, very soon. So it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. Shout out to Nick, man. No, shout out to y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. The D should be the truth this year. The defense should be the truth. Yes, sir. Shout out to the fam. Yes, sir. Shout out to all y'all for continuing to rock with us around the water cooler. Said I'm seeing you around soon. Yeah, let me know. Let me know. I'll make it an intro. You already know. I'll make it an intro. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with us around the water cooler. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern around the water cooler. We'll be talking some more college sports, a little bit more recruiting, a little bit more of everything around the water cooler, man. We appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with us as always. And before we get up out of here, as always, you all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. Make sure you get the man upstairs above his. Give him his just due. Give him his praise. And as always, one love. Ladies and gentlemen, and guess what? We out this mug. I holla. Eugene Asante. Take us out, my guy.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Water Cooler Talks with your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick. Make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss an episode.